Bobby Ray. Bobby Ray. Bobby Ray. Bobby Ray. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Bobby Ray. The Bobby Ray Show, everybody.
Hey, welcome to the Bobby Ray Show. Here we are again in Dallas, Texas, and I'm here with my sidekick, Josh Hart. Mr. Josh Good. It is afternoon, I think. Afternoon, yeah. Yes, it is afternoon.
Second episode of 2020. We're on a roll.
We're on a roll. This is good. Boss
yeah.
Man hadn't cut us off yet. We're good. Well, hey, and for our second 2020, we've got a big guest coming. I mean, we're big time. Serious. I mean, this guy is a professional comedian. He's been on the Ellen Show. Stand-up comedy.
He's on Last Comic Standing. He's done movies.
Sorry, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hitting the big time.
We're getting there.
You know, that's right.
It's all downhill from here.
That's right. And I think I think he wanted to put on his resume, you know,
the Bobby Ray Show,
Ellen Show, and the Bobby Ray Show. It's just, you know, so
the highlight of his career.
Yes, absolutely.
He can hang his hat up now.
Yes.
He's done the Bobby Ray Show.
So he'll be on in a few minutes. Looking forward to that. And you know, look, here I walk in to do the show, and we've got a fan handed me, hey, would you plug my book? And I said, oh, yeah, I guess so. So she's out there. So she's got a new book out called Twisted. I don't know anything about it. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just telling you, she said it's a great book.
Well, I'll have to give it a shot.
Okay, you give it a shot.
Yeah. Donna Weitzman.
Yes. So anyway, hey, last week we had homework to do.
We did.
You know, we said we kind of piled on the NCAA, these crazy bowl games. You got the Cheez-It Bowl was your favorite, I think. The Gasparilla, the whatever. It's just gotten crazy.
Yep.
Okay. Number one, there's too many bowls. And obviously they're having trouble naming them because that's what we're down to. So I said, okay, tell you what, I will call the NCAA, right? And we'll get to the bottom of this and see if we can't talk to somebody in charge. And, hey, we need to change these names or get rid of some bowls or something.
Yeah.
Okay? So I came in the studio the other day. Staff hooked me up with the number and all. So I was afraid to do it live. So here is a tape of that call. Is this the NCAA football department that handles the bowl games? Hi, Judy. Hey, this is Bobby Ray in Dallas. Yes. Hey, I need to talk to somebody about the name of the bowls. I think some of them are crazy. Yes. I mean, do you like the Cheez-It Bowl? Okay, Judy. I'm going to hold now for you. No, I'm still here. Yeah, yes, it did take a while. So what'd you find out? No, Judy. I do not. No. I do not want to sponsor a bowl game, Mr. Willard. Did you talk to Mr. Willard? Oh, okay. Go talk to him again. It'd be great if I could talk to Mr. Willard. So I'll wait for Mr. Willard's call. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. So we'll wait for Mr. Willard's call, and we'll keep you updated. Thanks. All right, there you go. I don't know. I got tired of waiting, you know. So let's see if Mr. Willard calls us back. I don't know.
I don't think you're going to be happy because I opened the paper today.
Uh-oh, yes.
And it says here, poor attendance, so you get a little closer, poor attendance won't cut bowls. They're adding more.
Oh, no.
Yeah, your
call
may have given them some inspiration to add more great bowls.
Thought I was going to sponsor them, I guess.
Well, and you know, with these bowl games, that they're trying to be trendy and on point, I could easily see an OK Boomer Bowl.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Tidy Cat Bowl.
Cat litter?
Yeah, you scratch a little bit, but it covers up all the crap that's going to be on the field. Sure,
yes,
I can see it. Do you have another one that you could possibly think of that'd be a good fit?
How about the Viagra Bowl? I mean, you know.
Yeah, that'd be some stiff competition.
Well, they would. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
I can see it now. Yeah.
Oh, everybody. Well, anyway, yeah, I think. Well, let's see if what's his name, Willard, calls me back.
We'll see.
I'm not holding my breath.
I'm getting a lot of imaging right now for the Viagra Bowl. No one stands to cheer because they can't. Yeah,
but I tried.
You tried.
And Judy and I became close friends during this 40-minute phone call. But bless her heart. So we'll see. Maybe I'll even make one last call. I don't know.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. But hey, this has been a big week in Dallas.
Yeah.
And nationally. I mean, there's been bombs going off. I mean, nationally, bombs over in Iran, and luckily nobody was hurt. And by the way, did you know that there are no Walmart stores in Iran?
You did not know that.
Only Targets. Okay. Look. So that was big news. All right. But a bomb went off in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
The hiring of a new football coach. Mm-hmm. You know, it's been 10 years or whatever. Jason's been there, and Dallas gets a new football coach. That's big news here in Dallas, right?
Yeah. Well,
so I thought it would be great to go out in the hall. We've done one other Hall Talk segment, and we haven't done one this year.
Nope.
So I thought I'd do a Hall Talk segment and get out in the hall, talk to the real people out here, you know, and see what they think about the new football coach. So we recorded that the other day also. So let's see how that went. What do you think about the new Cowboy coach?
No opinion.
No opinion? Hey, how about a quick question? All right. You don't even know what it is.
I know his name, but I don't know anything about him.
You don't know a thing about him?
Mm-mm. Green Bay?
Here he is. He's on the phone. He wants to talk to you.
Nebraska, so
Where's
I
Nebraska?
have no idea.
Who is the
What?
Dallas Cowboy coach?
I know nothing. I didn't know we had a new coach.
What do you think about the new Cowboy coach?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know sports.
Wow.
I don't know anything about it, honestly.
We hadn't gotten one person that knows anything.
We're Houston Texans fans, so we can give you a good. We hope they keep up the good work like they've been doing in the last season. Go Texans!
Yep, that's okay. We'll cut that out. What do you think? Where are you going? What do you think of the new Dallas Cowboy coach? See, how hard is that?
I don't know him yet. Let's see him perform.
Wow,
Performance
you're
is
tough.
everything.
Oh, I'm happy about it.
You are happy.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm tired of mediocrity.
There you go.
First Cowboys fan from the 1990s, man.
Wow. So, did we get a consensus, you think, from that?
I think a lot of people don't know a lot about the coaching of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I think you're right.
I'll tell you this. So he used to coach in Green Bay. If you don't know anything about the Cowboys, here's all you need to know. He used to coach Green Bay.
Yes.
Back when the Cowboys made one of their playoff runs, there's only been like a handful, so it's not hard to think about that point in time.
True.
The Cowboys and the Packers were playing. He was a coach at the time for the Packers. The Dez catch.
Oh, yes. Famous.
Famous Dez catch, fourth quarter, got the ball. Dez caught it, complete pass. They're running up to the field. Romo to do a quick little throw a touchdown to win the game. Challenge flag from this guy. Challenge flag, challenges the catch gets overturned. And then it is a fight back and forth. Finally, 5 years later, the NFL said, according to the rules, that should have been a catch.
Right.
I think the interview process before Mike McCarthy put on that blue star on his lapel was,
Yes.
Did Dez catch the ball? Yes, you have the job. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. That's probably how that went.
Yes. Well, he said he spent the night with Jerry. I mean, you know, he was here. Well, maybe I need to rephrase that.
He wanted the job.
Yes, he wanted the job, and he stayed at Jerry's house overnight. So there's no telling.
That's a weird interview.
That's different. Yes, I would say that's different.
I've never been to an interview before where they're like, I've been put up at a Hilton. Holiday Inn,
yes,
fine.
Yes, right.
Never been like, come and stay at my house.
Oh yeah, stay there. And we'll have a drink.
Put your keys in this bowl. Let's see what happens. No, thank you, Jerry. Nice try.
Well, anyway, it's a big deal, as we said here in Dallas. We'll see how it goes. And being a Cowboy fan forever, I do wish him luck. So did you grow up a Cowboy fan? I don't
Tried and true, yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
an
two of
eighth
us.
generation Texan. Been in Dallas almost my whole life.
Yeah, East Texas. So
I was born in Dallas.
Okay, and then went to
East
East
Texas for my formative years.
got it.
That's where I learned to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir.
Well, okay. Well, hey, why don't we bring on our guest?
I'd love to.
You would? Me too. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our special guest. Thank you.
Beat out hundreds of comedians from all around the country to win the Wendy's Stand Up for Good Taste Comedy Challenge on December 15th. You can see him perform at the Addison Improv in Dallas. I used to perform there all the time at the Addison Improv. Please welcome Dean Lewis. Hey, Dean. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Good to meet you. Good to have
nice
you
to
here.
meet you. Huh?
Good to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be out here. Thank you so much.
Now, and you're from Dallas, is that right?
I am from Dallas. I used to bartend there when you were there years ago.
Oh, really? At
Yes.
the Improv?
Mm-hmm.
I love Dallas and also the Addison, where you're going. I love those places. They're great.
Well, come back.
Good crowds.
I can get you in on the 15th.
Can you?
Yeah.
I'll open for you. That'd be great.
Okay.
Now, do you have a whole lot of people watching at home?
A ton of people. I'm actually on a morning show in Dallas, 102.1 The Edge. Hello, Edgeheads. And they're very excited. We talked about this on the air. They didn't know I won, so they're actually watching parties going on all throughout Dallas right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
shout out, holla.
Holla.
Holla. All right, so do your thing, Dean.
Thank you,
All
Ellen.
right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's more than enough. Thank you very much. All right. Well, hey, I'm married, been married a few years, and I'll tell you, the only regret I have about being married is I actually can't hang out with my single friends anymore because a single guy, married guy, don't see women the same way. The single guy, still playing the game, everything's an opportunity. He'll be like, man, look at her. Look at, she's sexy. Look at that red hair. She's just, Married guy will be like, that ain't her real hair color, I'll tell you that right now. Spends about $80 at the salon to get that color red going. You're gonna pay that bill. Plus, her nails don't grow that way, naturally. And see how long and curly her hair is? You know what that'll do to a bathtub drain? It'll back it up. Have you ever talked to a plumber, see what they charge to come out and snake your pipes clean? Are you insane looking at her? Listen up, buddy. You meet a bald woman, marry her. Thanks a lot. My name's Dean Lewis.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
There you go, right?
Absolutely, wow. We are so honored
Is it
to
honored?
have you here,
Yeah.
Dean.
Yes.
Wow. Glad it worked out that you could be here.
Well,
I mean,
that was
this
9 years ago, and the only reason I did it is they said, well, one day there's going to be a show with Bobby Ray, and the only way you'll get to that is if you do Ellen.
Yeah.
So I paid my dues, and I'm here.
Yeah,
I made it.
All right.
Put in the work.
Oh,
yeah.
But you've tell us how you got to Ellen show. How did that happen?
Yeah, so it's really funny because I was married at the time, and by the way, we don't mention my wife more than 3 times because if you do, there's a puff of sulfur and she shows up. But she had told me, she's like, hey, they're doing this thing for Ellen. And I was like, I'm not interested. I don't do contests. But she's like, no, enter it. So I entered it, and I was picked, which was great.
Yeah.
But then they were like, okay, so we're going to put, because it was through Wendy's Hamburger Place. It's actually the Wendy's Clean Comedy Challenge is what I won, which is great. Frosty's amazing. So they had it on their website, and they're like, vote for these comics. So there was clips of us. So I had a advantage. It was a very unfair advantage. I was on the Jagger show on the Morning Edge.
Yes.
So we were, top 3 in the top 5 market, top 3rd show.
Yeah.
So I won. Of course I got.
You plugged it every day.
We plugged it, and so that was. Then we went to Vegas. There was like 12 of us from across the country who were the final ones to do a show that we filmed at the Flamingo, and then Ellen was going to handpick the one out of it. But here's the story. I don't think you ever knew this story. So we were staying at Caesars, and they have those bridges across the road to get to the other casino. So we're walking across, all of us, and there's like 4 producers, and sun is setting, and we're all excited. And all of a sudden, these 3 guys come walking up, and they're like, Dean Lewis, oh my God! They just happen to be edgeheads. And they were like, oh my God, and they were like, we're so excited, this, give us your autograph, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, thanks, and the producer's like, we gotta go. So as we were walking off, the other 11 contestants are now like 50 feet away from me. And you could see all of them were like...
Yeah, deflated.
And the producer leaned in, he said, did you plan that? He's like, dude, I didn't know what bridge we're going. No, it's just our show is popular.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you just won.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like I got this gig. I won the thing, but it was like it's not really. But the bottom line is Ellen saw all the sets and she handpicked the one.
Oh,
so
really?
even though I had these
one judge,
yeah, she's one judge,
real judge,
yeah,
yes.
And it was really interesting because it went from okay, you're going to do the show, and what that means is you're going to do like a 5-minute comedy set, then you're going to be interviewed, and then they change it like you're just being interviewed, and then they're like, no, you're just doing stand up, and now you're just doing 1 minute of stand up. So you'll notice in this clip that I'm not in the Ellen studio. There was like this side studio, and on the show that day was Carrie Fisher and Harry Connick Jr.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, I'm going to get to see. Like Carrie Fisher, they had me go through this tarp tunnel, like to keep away. It was like kind of like the Superstars, and now you're the gerbils of entertainment. You just go down that way.
Yeah.
So they like kept me away
No,
from
don't go
everybody.
this way. Yeah.
And so I wasn't even in front of the audience. It was like, 30. Those are people who couldn't get tickets to the show, and they're like, hey, you get to come in and see a comic. So
that's interesting.
But it looks great, and it helps with corporate.
It does good. Sounds great. Looks good.
And they
but still an honor. I mean, no question.
Wouldn't trade it. Ellen's a sweetheart. She used to work the clubs all the time, and she didn't remember me. But we all used to hang out. The staff would hang out with everybody, and I had the biggest crush on her.
Yeah.
And she. She's not interested. I just remember there was one day where I was like, kind of like, well, gee, when we're going afterwards, and she just had this look, and she kind of tipped her head and put her hand on my shoulder. She's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Which was her way of saying, stop. You know what? There's no chance. Because I didn't know.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Right, yeah, right.
But that can honestly happen. I remember I went out, there was a girl who invited me out to hang out with her friends, and I thought she was into me. And this girl is into me, and here I go to meet all her girlfriends, and it was literally an entire softball team. I'm sitting down. They invited me to a Buffalo Wild Wings with her softball team, and I'm like, and it took me like 45 minutes. It's like she's holding that girl's hand for a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of
There's probably a good chance. We're not going home tonight.
Yeah, their team spirit is
She's two dozen wings in. I don't think we're gonna get romantic this evening.
But wow, but you wrote for Carson. You've done
I sold material to the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Sold it to Jay Leno because when when Carson was kind of phasing out and Leno was guest hosting, he had this thing where it's like, hey, here's my fax number. Send me jokes.
Oh wow!
And it's $50 a joke, and so you'd send them in, and all of a sudden you get. So I sold him I think 3 different jokes, and looking back on my life, I should have been pushing that because he eventually a lot of people who were good at faxing jokes, he hired him for the staff.
Brought him in for staff.
And I should have pushed that, but I was just like, oh, that's great, and Leno, but I never followed through with it. But yeah, I wish I had because that would have been a sweet deal.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I sold some material to Ron White, and
wow.
And he's great.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
That guy's crazy. Yes.
I remember when he started back in the day, late 90s, late 80s actually. Wow, I'm getting old. And he used to be a cowboy. He used to go on with the pointed boots and the big Stetson and the cowboy shirt with the little metal things on this pocket and everything. And he was, hey, everybody. And, now you see him, he looks like a bouncer at a casino.
Yeah.
So
why did he change his look up?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm not sure. I think, Ron is a fan of states that have legalized marijuana. I just think he supports that.
Yeah.
And I think that loosened him up and just changed him. And he just, he's more that guy where he suddenly had long hair and he drinks scotch and he's just
smokes a cigar.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I've had a very lucky life in a lot of ways. And but the big thing is I got to meet Josh Hart. So
there you go. See, me too.
Yeah.
See, we have something in common. That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
And now though, you actually teach people how to be a comedian.
Yeah.
You have a school.
I do. I have a workshop.
And Josh could enroll in your school.
We could put him in there.
Yeah.
It's probably important.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah. What's the budget for the Bobby Ray show? Because
let's keep going. Yeah. We've had issues about our budget. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So my main thing is I do corporate events. That's the main thing I do.
Okay.
Because I'm I've got 2 kids and I'm not into traveling. So, there's 100 meetings a day in Dallas, and I'm just trying to book 4 a month. So, and that doesn't happen all the time because you got to get past the gatekeepers, and they're not looking for that. But that's the main thing I do.
Okay.
But, that field goes up and down. So one of the things I do to supplement is I teach a stand-up workshop. And I've been doing it for a long, long time, off and on. But, can I humble brag just for a second?
Sure,
so,
let's go.
I'll say that, a lot of people, the mindset is, well, you can't teach comedy. You can't teach a stand-up class. And I agree with that. Some people are bad stand-up teachers. But if you look at, seriously, 7 out of 10 of the working comics in DFW, they're from my class.
Wow.
And I've had students go on to be on Showtime, on Conan. One, Cristela Alonso. And listen, I'm a small part of this, but I think I was there at the beginning. So, and she's even said, you really helped. But she ended up having a sitcom on ABC called Cristela like 3 years ago.
Wow.
And she just did a Netflix special. She's getting ready to do another one that I got to help write a little bit on that.
Wow.
So my point is, yeah, if you don't think this workshop is going to work, of course it's not going to work. But if you come in and do what I say, you just do exactly what I say.
Yes.
So it's for people who want to do stand-up as a career, but people who just like it's a fun hobby. It's also for speakers and presenters. Like all these skills you're going to learn will really be very, very helpful in many aspects of your life. So I just started one last night, but it's not too late to join. And
might have been
I can
a
still
hint,
catch
Josh,
you
for
up.
us.
Yeah, it's a hint. Dean at deanlewiscomedy.com. So it's 6 weeks,
That's
and
what
then you learn how to write and perform, and then you do a 6-minute showcase at the Addison Improv at the end of it. So you actually prove that what you learned was valid.
It works.
It does work.
Wow.
Yeah. As long as you do exactly what I say. Sometimes people get up and they do a joke. I'm like, that's not the joke.
Yeah.
You're going, boo!
Yeah. So when your teacher's heckling you.
So do you provide them the material and they
Well, I teach you how to
both
write.
ways?
And then we write together.
Okay.
Because what you do is you learn rules of comedy, rules of stand-up. Like, I'll tell you one just real quick if you want.
Sure.
Just a real quick tease.
You bet.
So most people don't know this. You just write jokes and go on stage. But when you're doing comedy, there's only 3 things you can ever do with comedy. And you can either be punching up, you can be punching sideways, or you can be punching down. So what does that mean? So punching up is if something is holding you down, like authority. It doesn't even have to be the government. It could be your wife complaining to you. It could be your boss yelling at you. It could be getting a ticket. Like someone is holding you down and you're punching up. That's great to do. That's a great thing to do because people in the audience see that and they go, yeah, that person deserves to be a target. Punching sideways is self-deprecating. So like I'm fat, so I can punch fat.
Okay.
Like I'm in a group of fat people, I can punch them and there's a lot of wobbling. I'm Irish, I can make fun of Irish, but I'm not like black, I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
So I can't really talk about that kind of stuff because if I am, then it's gonna look like I'm punching down. And so punching down is when you're attacking something that can't help what it is. So a person, like if a person's blind and you're making, well, they can't help being blind.
All right.
But if a blind person is your boss and is horrible to you, then you could punch up, but you're attacking more that they're a boss rather than they're blind. So that's like 30 seconds, but like, so when people write material, most of the time, guess what people accidentally write? It's always punching down.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that. So it's like, you got to make yourself the victim or make it so you're holding rather than attacking, because most comedy is attacking, you know?
Wow.
And it's just not funny. Like someone would say like your sweater, I love your sweater, but a comic would like, hey, nice sweater. Like, dude, that's a nice sweater. Why are you attacking him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the type of comedy do is it's outward. And so that's one of the things I teach you is to be commercial.
Yep.
And how to make everybody have a good time.
Yeah,
Dean Lewis, age 7. Thank you.
The lady that gave me her book, you were standing there when and you said, hey, I like your coat. You know, you did.
Yeah, and then she was kind of aggressive. She's like, well, say something funny. And I was like, I can't be funnier than that jacket.
Yeah.
So I was punching up a little bit,
Yeah.
but like she was very sweet.
Yeah.
She was being funny.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you that. So when, just like she did, when you introduce yourself, and people always say at a cocktail party or oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I guess you say, I'm a comedian, I'm not sure. And then how does that go? I mean, where does that go?
So, and this is, again, I'm not attacking, but I don't think there's been a cocktail party since '72. Has there?
Sorry.
No, I know what you're saying.
That.
No. So at a party, so I try to avoid it. I try to avoid saying what I do. Like I'll try and, like I become a wallflower.
I sell drugs.
You sell drugs.
Yeah.
But I'll say, oh, I'm a teacher, and that shuts, like no one's like, really? Tell us about math. Like no one cares about being a teacher.
That's right.
But I am a teacher. But if I really get pressed, like, no, what do you do? I say, you know what I do is I help people make their corporate events amazing.
That's great. That's good.
Right? And then they go, oh, well, how do you do that? And I say, well, I'm an entertainer and da-da-da. So,
it still kind of gets back to, I'm an entertainer. Or what do you kind of entertainer are you?
Yeah.
You're not a magician. I'm a comedian.
I'm a comedian,
so
and
somewhere
I do,
it circles back.
Yeah. But that way, like, have you ever heard this? Just, it's so much about the way you present something. Like, someone will say, okay, I'm going to be a speaker. And what do you want to speak about? Like, what's been your life struggle? Well, I've had 5 divorces. And so they want to talk about divorce, right? And how to survive it.
Yeah.
No one, that's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
So you just have to spin it the right way. So the way that guy should present himself is, you know what? I know how to get women to say yes. That's the
There
speech.
you go.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
the speech,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So that's why you've got to format it in a certain way, and not say I'm a comedian, but I help people make their corporate events amazing. And then they're like, well, how do you do that? Or I do corporate event. What are you talking about, right?
I never seen you.
Yeah.
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 So do you have do you tailor each corporate event, your show? I mean, tailored for the company.
Yes,
and
I customize it. So So once they contact me and they're interested, so I customize. So what I do is I send them a questionnaire, and I say, hey, pass it around the office. Get like 5 or 6 people involved, and it's asking about the company, what's a nightmare for the company, what's on everyone's mind, what do you not want me to talk about, like, it's like 20 questions. And then I usually set up a one-on-one with them where I'll actually go to their office and I'll sit down with them and the staff, and for like 45 minutes we'll just talk about, so how do you see the event? What do you want to have happen? What did you do last year, and what did everyone hate about that, and what did everyone love about that? So, because the bottom line is I'm an outsider. I mean, no matter, how much money they're paying me or how much one-on-one or questionnaire, I'm still an outsider.
Yeah.
So I always treat it very respectfully as I'm in your house. It's Microsoft, and it may be at the Hilton, but I'm in your house. So I'm not going to come in and be, first of all, they don't want to hear 45 minutes or an hour of comedy about me. They want to hear about themselves.
Yeah.
So that's how I do. So, I'm kind of expensive, but part of that is, it's not just the hour I do the show. It's also, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours prepping for that show, because I'll go into their website, I'll do history search, I'll find out about a person, and not really roast them, but like one of the questions is, tell me about 5 people in the company who are fun or interesting. And so they'll say, well, Bobby Ray, and he likes to play golf. Well, how do you build jokes off of that? So then I go into your history.
You're going to pick on me, aren't you?
Not pick on you, but I'll say things, but I always make it organic.
Okay.
I won't say, so Bobby, I understand you have 5 divorces. I'll just say, so Bobby, I understand you know how to make women say yes. So there's a lot that goes into it, and that's one of the reasons I'm more expensive.
And successful.
Well, I still got a book for a month, but so that's what I do, yes.
Okay. So of all how many years have you been doing this?
Well, about 90. About 1990. No, I started at 90.
I thought you were going to say 90 years.
90 years, yeah.
No.
You look great.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, good.
For your actual age, you look awful, but for a 90-year-old, you look phenomenal.
Yes, thank you. Since 1990, and then corporate shows about 94, 95. But I shouldn't have been doing, this is one of the things, you should not be trying to do corporate work unless you can do an hour clean. And can I tell you a real quick story?
I hope you will.
About why this is so important.
Yeah.
So there's a thing in town called Gig Salad, and this is a site you can join. It's like $38 a month. And when people enter on the internet, Corporate Comedian Dallas, that's the first one that's going to pop up because they've got a big SEO, right? They're a very powerful company, better than I could ever do on my own. So it pays to be a part of that. But so what happens is people get on there and they're price shopping. They're looking for the cheapest comic. And so, I'll contact people and I'll tell my price. Like, oh, that's way too expensive. I'm like, okay, well, good luck. Maybe next year. And so I know their budget's like really low, right? So what happens is anyone can get on Gig Salad. You could get on it today and say you're a comedian. Because there's no filtering. There's no. They just, you got $40? Sure, you're a comedian. So there's been 3 times I've called like the day after the event just to do because this is part of what you learn is do a follow-up. Just because no this year doesn't mean no next year. And just call and go, hey, just wondering how the event went, and maybe next year we could work together. And there's been 3 times I've done that, and I call and they say, oh, she doesn't work here anymore.
That's a problem.
Because the comic said, oh, I can be clean, I can do an hour, and they can't, and they go in. And so Barbara was hired, they said, Barbara, you take care of that.
Yeah.
She found the comic, and he goes in and does 30 minutes, and he's filthy. They're going to fire her, right? So this is one of the reasons why, I say don't do corporate events unless you've been doing it. You can do an hour clean. And I mean, so what is clean? No race, no religion, no gender, no sex.
Yep.
And can I tell you guys another quick story, though?
Yeah.
Please.
Am I boring? Okay.
No.
Just to give you an idea of how this world works. So in my contract, one of the things I have is a 100% money back guarantee. I say, I will not be blue or dirty, and if I am, you get 100% back.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is years ago I got hired by Mary Kay, and they had me do 4 shows, and they said, if you're dirty in any of the shows, we're not paying you for any of them. So I could have done 3 shows perfect, the 4th show, great for 44 minutes, and the last time dropped an F-bomb, I would have lost all the money. So I did it, no problem. I said, well, yeah, that's the thing they want, is to be corporate clean. So, but I have in the contract, if you say something or someone on your side says something, I'm not responsible. So I did this show, and I'm getting into it, and I said to this one guy, I said, so what do you do, sir? And he says, I sell semen.
Oh, my gosh.
Huge laugh. This is at a country club in the middle of the day. Everyone's dressed to the nines. And he goes, I sell semen. I'm like, uh-oh, right?
Yeah. Where do we
and
go
so
from
we're
here?
just stunned, and everyone's laughing, and he's kind of confused. And I was like, well, that's great for you. And he goes, well, I do it by the load. Are you interested? I was like, what is going on? And I'm looking over at the woman hiring me, and she's laughing, but she's like steam coming out of her ears. You know, and so I got to steer this ship. I got to get, but how do you get out of that joke?
I have no idea.
So the woman next to him is laughing and hitting him, and finally she goes, hey, listen, he's from Germany. He doesn't speak English very well. He sells cement.
Oh.
So a third huge laugh.
Oh, wow.
So of course he sells cement by the load.
Yeah.
So I thought, I was like, I'm not getting paid.
No,
but
you're
afterwards,
done.
she said, you did so well because you didn't make it, you didn't keep going.
Yeah.
And she doubled my salary as a
Wow.
tip. She goes, here you
Wow.
go. You did so
Wow.
great. And I thought I wasn't going to get paid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Wow.
that's what it's like. It's
That's
just,
hilarious.
Yeah, it's unpredictable, but I love it. So.
Well, you've been doing it since 1990, so however long that is.
Yeah, 89, 90.
Yeah. So, and you've written, as you said, for the Stars, and you won the So, what are a couple of your famous jokes, or the ones you like the most? Are there a couple that just maybe they're your go-to, or?
Well, there's certain jokes I always do. They're going to be kind of long, but certain jokes I always do. Some comics, my friends, are like, that joke's 25 years old. I'm like, yeah, but not to this audience. They've never seen me before.
Yeah.
You know, Journey still plays. Can't Stop Believing. I mean, you just have the hits. You're going to sing them.
Yeah.
So there's a really long thing I do about sleep, which always hits really hard because it's so universal. You know, and so like one of the things I talk about is how I'm very jealous of someone who can get up quickly. Like I can't do that. Like I have a schnauzer, and when the doorbell rings, he's instantly. I say, you know, and that's true because you would never have a dog that woke up like a human. It's like ding dong. What the hell? Could you come back in 20 minutes? Seriously, I just can't hop up and start barking. So, so it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
very
that's
universal. A thing I do on spanking, which is great, because were you spanked as a kid?
Yes.
You were too?
Yes.
Yeah, we all were,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so now that's changed. You know,
Yeah,
like I
you
never.
don't-
My
yeah.
youngest son, I slapped him on the wrist one time, and my older son yelled at me. He was like 3.
Did the police come?
He was like, Dad, you don't hit kids. And
Yeah.
so, but I do a bit about that. About I have friends who stop spanking their son when he turned to 8. Like they spank till 8, and I was like, well, why 8? And they say, well, he's too old. I'm like, too old, dude. If you believe in spanking, at any age it works.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't think police should ticket anymore. They should just spank bad drivers on the freeway. Because you'd slow down, you're going down the freeway, someone's on the shoulder getting a whipping.
Yeah, there you go.
Drive by, oh my God. Ugh. And I do the thing with put on the seatbelt. I'm like, let's go back around and look one more time. So it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that just, but I'm always writing new things. Like right now, I'm working on a new piece about school zones. Which, when you think of school zones, what's the first thing you think? I'm just curious.
20 miles.
What do you think about 20 miles per hour?
Slow.
See, so my angle on it is, I say, you know, the speed, and I'm not saying hurt kids or anything, but I think the speed limit should be 70. That's what, when you come to a school zone, it's 70 miles an hour.
Well, get you on through quick, I guess.
Get you on through quick, but here's the reasons why. So now I'm proving my premise, right? So first of all, think about how kids are so indifferent to teachers. They show up every day, hi, Mrs. Richardson. But if it was 70 miles an hour, and you barely made it to class, you know how much respect she would get? Oh my God, Mrs. Richardson, I thought I'd never see you again. So it would improve student-teacher relations.
Yes, absolutely.
Another side of it is, you know, the biggest time when kids do drugs or join gangs or have sex is after school. So if it's 70 miles per hour, no one's leaving. There'd be some gang across the street, hey, come join a gang. Screw you, I'm staying here. So that's like, you know, that again, that resonates with everybody because everyone's point of view is school zones are too slow.
Yeah.
But you don't want to say what I'm saying, speed it up.
Yeah.
That's why I preface, look, I'm not saying hit kids or do anything.
Right.
But think about how much better the world would be if it was 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so then I'm proving my point. So, yeah, I'm writing all the time, stuff like that.
Well, that's great. Well, I know right before we came on, our staff, talking about our budget, but that's okay. That's a different story. But anyway, they handed me a quick little sheet, you know, on them. And one thing on the end of the sheet, it said, you are the best parallel parking in the world.
So get your car, Let's go out in the parking lot and I will show you.
How did you get that?
That is my self-entitled thing.
I see.
I'm just like, every time I parallel park, I'm like, I'm pretty good at this. I know how to do it. Because I had driver's. Did you have driver's? They don't do that
I did
anymore.
driver's ed.
In high school?
Yes, in high school.
Parent taught me.
Yeah, your parent taught you. So did you do the thing where they put the egg on the cone, on the orange cone?
No.
That's what we learned.
I'm not that old.
Okay. Well, we took our horse and buggy.
Yeah.
No, but I went to North Mesquite High School, and I remember the teacher, I can't remember her name, but she took 2 of those orange construction cones and put eggs on them, and we went across the street to Town East Mall, and again and again and again, and people would knock the eggs off. Go back and do it again. And so, it's the 3-point thing. So, but it's also just silliness. It's a silly thing to say. He's won an Emmy. He's been on Ellen, and he can parallel park.
Yeah.
So
I guess you think every time you parallel park of those eggs, obviously.
Yes, it's like
knocking the eggs down. Wow.
But now I'm getting older, and I don't wear my glasses on air or anything. But I can't tell you how many times I've been parking, and I get out, and it's taking up 2 spaces, and I'm like,
yes.
So maybe I should change that.
Yeah.
Can I put friend of Bobby Ray?
Oh, absolutely. That'll do it. But and that happens to me. Phyllis will pull in and park somewhere, and she'll say, "You're close to the line over here." I thought, look, am I in the line? Yeah, but it's really close over here on the line. So you back up and then you go back. How's that? Let me open my door. And look but anyway.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
I did that with my wife. She's like, "You're too close to the line." I was like, "Can you open the door?" And she goes, "No." I said, "Good." It's good. Walk out. There we go.
That was my plan.
Yeah. See you later. I'll be back.
Awesome.
Crack a window. I'll be back in half an hour.
Wow.
That's
well,
awesome.
Dean, you're so kind to be here. We're
it's
honored
been so
to
much
have
fun.
you.
Are we done? Is that it?
Yeah,
man.
the staff tells us we can stay, forever. We go get lunch, but
we don't want to waste this backdrop, right?
I know. That's true. That's true. And I guess speaking of that, they may be moving us to a new studio starting next week.
Yes, sir.
Is that going to happen?
We can stay here or we can move. We'll have the option. I put it in our contract. We have the option to go either way.
There you go. All right.
Don't worry.
Good.
Always thinking. Not just a pretty face.
Good. So,
there's so many cameras. There's even one up there.
There's a lot of cameras.
So do you guys have a lot of Texas Hold'em on the air? I mean,
we do that for cooking, or if you have a lot of laptop tech equipment out, you can do the Sky Cam.
Yeah. That's a different show.
Okay.
That's a different show. So plug your company again.
So if you go to deanlewiscomedy.com, that's my website. And you can see the clip when I was on Ellen, Last Comic Standing. It talks about how I won an Emmy for writing. And then there's just a ton of testimonials. Like I have testimonials from everyone from Microsoft to American Airlines, just proving that what I do is not, hey, I'm funny. Like it's actually, and then there's some other clips in there. If you go to the video section where I'm in comedy clubs, because the thing that's really hard to do is get clips of me at corporate events, because none of them want me to record. Because I'm performing in front of a big sign that says PepsiCo, and they're like, well, it looks like we're endorsing you, so you can't record yourself.
I see.
So there's not really
that's
much.
Interesting.
Yeah. I really don't have much of me at a corporate event, but I promise you 100% money back guarantee. So you just contact me, Dean at deanlewiscomedy.com, or my assistant, Christine, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can and see what your event is about and see what I can do. Sometimes I turn things down because I'm like, I'm not right for this event. There's somebody else.
Yeah.
This would be perfect.
Yeah.
Like I'm more concerned about, as you know, rather than closing every deal, relationships. Be nice to people.
Yes.
And it'll come back in many ways. So Dean at go to the website, deanlewiscomedy.com, and everything you need is on there. And also, if you're interested in the workshop, send me an email, and I'll tell you how you can sign up for that.
Perfect. Dean, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Bobby. This is great. I love
Dean
it. And
Lewis.
Josh and I used to be on a show together, and this is like a happy morning reunion.
So
great to see you.
Here we made it through this one, and next week you may want to come show up next week. We have a psychic is our guest.
Oh no.
Yes.
Wow.
So I don't know how that's going to turn out yet.
Well, it'll be fun. And can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Can you validate my parking?
Yeah. Done.
I don't know. Is that in the budget? I don't know. Use the boss. Go to the boss man. She can do that.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Thank everybody for being here again today, and the great Dean Lewis. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.